Yo, what is going on, guys? What's on a fantastic day? So I want to go over the 6 free agent linebackers that are still available for the Philadelphia Eagles. Going into training camp, before training camp, or during training camp, whatever the case may be with it, you know, outside of Nakobe Dean, we really don't know what we really have. You know, this could be, like I said, a wait-and-see approach with Nicholas Morrow, Davion Taylor, Kyron Johnson, Patrick Johnson. I don't know, whoever else really is behind there, that could, pair up with Nakobe Dean. And I'm hoping Nicholas Morrow works out, but, once we get to training camp, it's a nice wait-and-see approach to see what the Eagles think of this whole group as a whole. And I think there is still a lot of good talent still out there. If you're not trading for Isaiah Simmons, you're not trading for Patrick Queen. If the Eagles want to go another route, not give draft compensation away to another NFL team for a player that you're just going to rent for the year, why not look at the free agents that are still available? So I want to go over the 6 free agents that are still available as of right now on the market. Most of these free agents are about 27 to 28 years old. One other linebacker is 32 years old. So, a lot of these linebackers are still in their prime right now of their careers and could contribute to an NFL roster. So I want to get into all of that. So let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
So training camp is in a few weeks for the Philadelphia Eagles, and linebacker, as much as I think it's, I feel like there's definitely something that, maybe you could kind of wait and see what you have there. But I think it's obviously one of the weakest positions outside of Nakobe Dean because I feel comfortable with Dean being there and what Sean Desai wants in this defense. I don't know if this linebacker core is going to hold up talent-wise, and I think they really need to upgrade a little bit. Now, I'm going to go over 6 free agent linebackers that are still available, and at the end, give my analysis on what I think I would want on this team, and then, kind of ask you guys, what do you think about this whole group in general, and who would you rather get from this group of guys that are still available? Number 1, we talked about him one other time, is Quan Alexander. Obviously, 4-year career with Tampa Bay, was a Pro Bowler in 2017, and then after that, went to San Francisco and helped the San Francisco 49ers get to the Super Bowl. Was with the Jets last year with 69 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 12 starts. Biggest concern with Quan Alexander is really health, just staying healthy, but could play inside, outside linebacker. He's a hybrid type guy that can move everywhere, which is good. He's been working his tail off this offseason, 27, 28 years old, and still has a lot of, definitely has something left in the tank for the Eagles to definitely use, and in coverage as well. So I think Quan Alexander would be a very good fit here. To be honest with you, probably the number 1 linebacker on my list in free agency that I would actually get that is still available. So Quan, I don't know what he's looking at money-wise. Obviously the Eagles don't like to put money into this position too much, but they, if it's a 1-year, $2 million deal or $3 million, I don't know what he's looking for, but hasn't been signed yet. So, we'll see what happens in the meantime with Quan Alexander. Number 2 on my list is obviously Myles Jack, and obviously only had 1 year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a former 2nd-round pick in 2016. I think, someone as physical and as athletic as Myles Jack could be, He's been pretty good against the run. I mean, I think his missed tackle rate is below 10%, so it's actually really good. I don't know much about the coverage, but when it comes to run support and using him in different ways, Myles Jack might. And I mean, Myles Jack with a good defense around him would probably play very well here. So it's definitely another player that could be available that is still out there as of right now as a free agent. I know the Eagles have been kind of linked to him a little bit. I've always seen articles, talking about Myles Jack coming to the Eagles, but who knows at this point how much interest they have. But you're definitely getting someone that's obviously gives really good run support, tackling's really good. It just hasn't had the best career, but only 1 year with the Pittsburgh Steelers and definitely a lot more to prove, and maybe could look a lot better in a stacked defense like it is right now in Philadelphia, and well needed for our linebacker core. So that would be really interesting going down the road. Dion Jones is another player, and really we haven't seen the prime of Dion Jones really since he was an Atlanta Falcon. Now Dion Jones, 59% of the snaps last year for the Cleveland Browns, 44 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 1 interception. mentioned. Okay, he's had 5 100 tackle seasons in his career, which is pretty damn good. Now, 100 tackles could be a good thing or a bad thing. If your run defense is bad and you're making tackles past the first down mark, I understand that. But Dion Jones probably had his worst, I'd say he had his worst season last year. So he's had 5 defensive touchdowns in his whole entire career. So really this comes down to, can he be the player he used to be when he was with Atlanta? Really, those were his prime years as a player. And not a bad piece to really bring in. And he's got some versatility and can get his hands on the football and coverage. So not too bad with Dion Jones. So another pretty good candidate out there that is a low risk, high reward type move that the Eagles could bring in on a 1-year deal. So I wouldn't really be against that at all. Zach Cunningham, another player that's available right now. Obviously, 3 years ago, he had 100 solo tackles. I think he was top player with 100 solo tackles. He only played 6 games as a Titan, the past year. So he's got inside linebacker experience. He's a veteran. Just injuries, concerns with injuries and stuff like that. I mean, that's really it with him. But just an experienced vet that could do a lot. So that's another guy that's available right now. Rashaan Evans is another guy that's available. Rashaan Evans, I think his passer rating was pretty damn good at 112 point. Actually, no, it was it was worse. 112.6, which he was tied for the worst last year. Sorry, I was reading something else by mistake. 17 games started last season. Good tackler. I mean, just still a free agent right now. So another guy that's available here. It's going to come down to what the Eagles want when it comes to how Sean Desai wants to use some of these guys, and I think with him, I think you have somebody that is good run support, could blitz, could shoot the gap really well, but his coverage just isn't really cutting it. And, I don't think Sean Desai probably won't be as interested in a guy like this if you can't play both positions, or at least if you're a defensive end, can play outside linebacker, could rush the quarterback. Maybe he can rush the quarterback a lot better, but, I don't know if Sean Desai will be interested in guys that can't really be in coverage too much. So Rashaan Evans is obviously another one that's still out there right now. Kyle Van Noy, this is the oldest vet on the list at 32 years old right now. Kyle Van Noy's been in the league for a while. 4 seasons, obviously, and 4 seasons for Kyle Van Noy. He's had 159 tackles, 30 tackles for loss, 22.5 sacks, 41 QB hits, 22 pass deflections. He's had a lot of experience. He only missed 2 tackles last year, with the Chargers. So, an older vet at 32, but if they want to, could be cheap. I'm actually kind of surprised he's still on the market right now, but definitely somebody else, that you could bring in if you really do want. So an older veteran with a lot of experience, it could be in coverage, run support. You could line him up as a defensive end. You could use him as an edge rusher as well. I mean, you could do whatever you want with him. So just comes to effect of, I don't know why Kyle Van Noy being available is kind of weird to me. I mean, he wasn't injured last year. I think he played all 17 games last year. So kind of wondering why he's kind of still available. So, I mean, that's really it, guys. I mean, we kind of talked about, obviously, 6 linebackers that are available right now, free agent-wise, other than the trades for Patrick Queen, Isaiah Simmons, stuff like that, you know what I mean, at the linebacker core. But if it was really up to me right now, I do like Quan Alexander, Myles Jack, and probably Kyle Van Noy are probably my 3 guys that I would really look for, unless they want a younger guy, an older guy with more experience. It just really depends. But I think with some of these guys, they've had, at least when it comes to coverage, I like Quan Alexander and Kyle Van Noy a lot better than Myles Jack. Myles Jack, very athletic, tackles really well. Missed tackle rate was below 10%, which is pretty good. And never really misses there. So I want to know from you guys what you think of this linebacker core in general. Do you think that you make a move before training camp? Do you think this is more of a wait and see approach? Who do you like from this list? Other than Patrick Queen and Isaiah Simmons, who do you really like from this list? I'd like to know in the comment section below. If you guys laughed this long in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well. I appreciate all the support from everybody, and can't wait until Eagles training camp. I'm dying for some content and some stuff to happen. I want to see what the depth of this roster, the back end of this roster, which I think is really important. Once we get full pads on, joint practices with the Colts and the Bears, should be a lot of fun. So let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.